TikTok. Why is my YouTube Instagram taking a second? Okay, happy Tuesday. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah in Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest reality TV gossip. And of course, Jeff Lewis, the Jeff Lewis After Show. I'm sorry, I'm freezing, y'all. I have one kid trying to keep seven people's temperatures uh, all under control with two air conditioning and heating units with air, weather that changes all the dang time is not easy. So I'm cold because what do we moms do? We, of course, give in to what our husband and kids want. And so I always want it warm in the house, and they do not. So I've got a blanket on because I'm freezing. It is just like one of those days. It's like I just can't get warm. It was that way last night too. I was like, it's freezing in here. My husband was like, you've got it on 71 on the heater. And I'm like, I know, and it's amazing. Anyway, shout out everyone. I love that y'all can join live. It is so much more fun to join live. I promise you. Um, I did realize that I had, I guess, the weather. If y'all were watching that college game that Judge Lauren Lake had her son at last night, go Michigan, I guess they won. It was here in Houston. So they were all talking about the rain. And I had told Lulu, come sit down. Lulu. See, she gets into stuff when come here. Come lay down. Come lay down. Come on. She just staring at me like, bitch, I ain't doing what you say. I never do. Oh, goodness. Okay. And so yesterday it started raining during the show, but nothing looked bad on my computer. But when Annie went to do my reel that we posted late last night, I hope you saw it. Uh, the technology was bad. Like it was kind of blurry and everything. So I don't know if y'all saw that on YouTube and on Facebook and on Twitter or X, whatever it's called. Everything seemed fine on Instagram, but Instagram is never the top quality because it is not my webcam. I know this is all blah blah blah. It's not my webcam and mic. It is a different computer, a different phone. So, anyways, where are y'all? Oh, the comments. Okay, my comments were. Hold on. Why are my comments weird on? Okay, are y'all there on YouTube? Yeah. Okay, y'all are. Anyways, okay, so we already chatted a little bit that Judge Lauren Lake was in Houston. I did see her post yesterday that she was at a Buc-ee's. I was like, wait a minute, she must be in Texas because there's most of them are in Texas. And then I realized, oh, she goes to Michigan. Well, I don't really care about college football if it's not my daughter's University of Georgia in the game, and it wasn't this year. But then I realized, oh, she's probably at the game. And then I checked her Instagram, and of course she was. So I'm really happy for her that they won. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion part 1 tonight. Oh my God, y'all. The amount of shows that are on Tuesdays. I mean, my DVR probably can't keep up. It's probably, where you've got, like I have DirecTV, how it's like you can only record 4 different things at once in your whole house. It's always my recording. So tonight is probably Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I'm sure there's a bazillionth 90 Day Fiancés on. I think Thousand Pound Sisters comes on tonight. I mean, my thing is going to like fall off one day and quit working because I record it so much all the dang time. Somebody says my plant is on different sides. Well, it's just because on different computers, I think it might be on all of mine, it's on the left side, but it's on the left side of me. Anyways, this is my right side. This is my right hand. This is my left hand with my wedding ring. But I think a lot of times things are flip flopped whenever it's the mirrored. Anyways, technology. Hello from Jersey and GB, Seattle. Anyways, okay. Is anyone else going to admit that they watched this show on TLC called Smothered? So I think it's been off for a couple of years and it just came back again this season it's about mothers, almost all mothers, but there's actually a son-in-law on now with his mother-in-law. And it's crazy because the mother does not get along with the daughter, but the husband is attached at the hip to his mother-in-law. Like crazy, wearing matching outfits. They go to bingo every Thursday night. I mean, okay, so it's on TLC. It's called Smothered, like Mothered. A lot of them look similar. So a lot of the moms are like in their 50s and 60s, and they really try hard, like too hard, to look like their daughters who are like 20s and 30s. They wear matching outfits, they do everything together, like take baths in the same bath water together, take showers together, touch their vajayjay, like taking out, ingrown hairs on their vagina. I mean, it's insane. Like, I am all for people being close. I was close to my mom. I have 4 daughters I hope to be close to, but no, 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 no. One of them was asking what position she and the daughter's boyfriend and the daughter, what sexual positions they do together. Like, I do not want la 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 la. I don't want to know about that. I don't want to share that with my kids. I think it's disgusting. It's bad enough when my kids see me and Brian kiss. They're like, "Ugh," and I'm like, oh my God, get her life. But to share that much, and a lot of these people, I can't, they seem like they have money, but they don't even seem to have jobs. Like, there's one that's been on before. Brittany is the daughter. The mom, I forget her name, but she's blonde. They live in Florida. The stepdad that was on before has since passed away from cancer. So that was kind of sad because I did really like him. His name was Frank. So that's one of the same couples. Sometimes they have the same mothers and daughters, and then for different it's called Smothered on TLC. Then for different reasons, maybe they're not asked back, maybe the people decide not to come back, but then they'll introduce new mothers and daughters on the next season. So this one kind of has a mixture of both. So this couple, Brittany and whatever her mom's name is, they do hobby horsing. I mean, I'm going to sound super judgy wudgy, but whatever. They take hobby horses and they go out in the backyard and they jump over like things on a hobby horse and they call it exercising, which I guess I can see, but like the fact that they have to do it together. This other couple like takes a bath together twice a week with what were they putting in celery juice or something? It's insane. So let me know in comments if you're watching this, if you're going to start watching it, if you're, I mean, the stuff I find myself wasting my time with. I mean, I love me some Thousand Pound Sisters. I love me some My Feet Are Killing Me. Have you seen that show? Dr. Pimple Popper. I used to watch Honey Boo Boo, y'all. So Mama June fascinates me. Any grown ass human that has bugs living on their big toe and they proudly display that and take their sock off and show the world and are super proud of it. I'm just, this humans fascinate me. That's all I can say. Speaking of that, this kind of disappointed me. 90 Day Diaries. I guess it's on season 5. It did start up again last night. I thought it was one of these shows that TLC was just making work. It's like almost like everyone was these couples were recording themselves during the pandemic, which I thought was obviously a safer and more respectful way. But the fact that they keep doing it, I guess it's like all these couples that I don't know, they just regurgitate these couples like they have no story. The girl in is it Ethiopia or something? I feel like her husband is super disrespectful to her. She's like comes from a very good family. She's super smart, like a journalist or something. And I just feel like he's always disrespectful to her and making her feel like she's not a priority. And then they have a kid now that's probably like 4 by now, maybe 3. I can't keep up what's real time and what's not. So, anyways, but that was just disappointing because it feels like they're still recording themselves from like a selfie stick. And I'm like, get a full on camera crew there. Like, we're not in the pandemic anymore. Like, get this. I think it's like a half ass attempt of keeping all of these people on. Like, we need a breather. Just like the housewives will have, I think they record for like 4 or 5 months out of the year and then they edit it and then they finally show it and then they take a breather. We need a breather between 90 Day Fiance. It is it's like, it's always like a job. It's always waiting for me on my DVR. Like, I can never, ever catch up. And y'all, these whores at TLC, they get us with the pillow talk, the before, the preview shows, I mean, oh my God, the More to Love. There's so many other shows that they make baby shows off of the bigger. It's crazy. Like, nobody can keep up with that crap. I mean, we've got Jeff Lewis Live to listen to 5 freaking days a week, right? We can't listen to all of this for sure. Okay, let's get into it. Obviously, I had a problem with the app. I have not had a chance to go back and listen to it. I've only got like maybe 3 minutes left of the after show, but that's obviously priority because I love listening to Ryan Bailey and Monica Casey. But I feel like I've said this for months. Jeff is super honest and open and relaxed on the after show. To me, way more than the Jeff Lewis Live show. If you are not listening to him, at least the first segment, it's called, before they go the first commercial break, I don't even hear Shane on anymore. Shane is probably in the room, but I feel like he's like working, responding to emails because these guys are busy. If they go off their phones for like an hour, except for commercial breaks, he's probably got texts, he's probably got emails, people. Clearly, he's got 2 more $10,000 dinners booked, one in May, one in March. He didn't say where. One of them is a one-on-one. Can you imagine? I would be way more nervous at a one-on-one dinner with Jeff Lewis for 2 to 3 hours than I would with the 5 of us that were there. So when I was invited to go to Melanie and Scott's $10,000 dinner, I guess they requested Shane. I don't know how that works. I'd have to ask Melanie. Maybe she's in comments. She can tell us if they requested Shane or if they just say yes or no. Because I guess now we know technically they can request any of the chumps that they want. And I think Jeff pays a $1,000 fee. He gives that person 10% of the $10,000. Yeah, somebody says, whoever you are, take me on the $10,000 dinner. Can you imagine? I mean, also, any future people, I am always up for being the extra invite. Jeff made it very clear today. They let, people invite other people. They let other people invite chumps. So I would be way more nervous, wouldn't you, would you have to deal with just Jeff Lewis all at one time? That would be so crazy. Art and Giggle says, I'd be so nervous I would not be able to eat. I was able to eat in front of Jeff. I really did. The biggest thing was remember I told you already, Shane like ordered for the table because, Melanie and Scott, didn't really take charge of that. And Jeff, I think, kind of wanted to be respectful since they do pay the bill. And all of us me and Scott and Melanie had a late lunch at Sarah Beth's that I treated them to. So we really weren't starving, but they just kind of ordered, Shane took charge and kind of ordered a bunch of appetizers, but one was kind of this mini seafood tower, if you will, like a whole lobster and whatever. Those are kind of intimidating for me to eat because I don't want to be digging through a lobster shell in front of other people. To me, that is like eating crawfish. And if you eat crawfish, you really need to be friends and family with the people. Like I do not eat crawfish with just strangers. Not that I eat with strangers, but crawfish is a very specific meal, right? That you're getting nasty and juices, and you maybe have a bib. And here in Texas, we put these plastic bibs on you if you get like lobster or crawfish. I didn't really mess with that, although I would have. But they cut up some steaks that we shared. The guy came around and put us like a spoonful of the sides that we ordered. So yeah, we actually all 5 ate absolutely in front of each other. It was kind of fun. Anyways, oh my gosh, no way. Sarah says, if we don't come for dinner with you, Sarah, will you start charging $10,000 to have dinner with you? I mean, I guess the market sets the price, right? If somebody wants to pay me $10,000 to eat dinner with them, of course I will do it. I do not suck the heads of crawfish. No, that's like the brains and that yellow fatty part. Ugh. I've been eating crawfish a long time, though. I graduated college in 1995, and we had a party at my parents' beach house, and we had 160 pounds of crawfish for the party. So I've been eating crawfish a long time. Anyways, okay, did anyone else's app mess up for them today, though? Today was the first time that I was like 11 minutes late, and I was like, crap, it's 11:11 already. On my app, it starts at 11:03 because I'm in Texas. It's always 3 minutes delayed. I'm almost always on the app. I'm never live in my car listening to Jeff Lewis. So at 11:11, I'm like, crap, I've got to turn on the show. So I do it. Well, now, like I've showed y'all, it doesn't say restart, which they need to be very clear. Why that quick fix hasn't been done already on the app, I do not know. That is so easy to do. We need very specific. You can't have that tiny little 1 hour. Let's face it, a lot of people that pay for Sirius XM monthly probably aren't a bunch of 16-year-olds. It's probably people a little bit like me that have a little bit of problems with the eyesight and tiny ass things on an app. That little arrow that says 1 hour and then the one next to it that says nothing, that is actually the one. Mine was grayed out today. And I did a poll on my Instagram story. And so far, like 84% of y'all are saying that y'all's arrow was grayed out also. In other words, you couldn't push it to restart to the beginning of the show. It was crazy. So to me, get your crap together. It's been weeks. Well, was it January 1st or 2nd when they launched? I don't even know when it was. It was crazy. So I haven't even listened to the beginning. So if something amazing was said at the very beginning, I was almost going to be mad if he updated us on, but then I found out he waited and read it to us on the after show. I wanted to know Chef Harrison's response to the, I don't only call it a breakup. What do you call it for those of y'all in the dating world? Because I'm clearly not. What's it called when you've gone on 4 dates with someone? One of them was a sleepover. One of them, the same night, he introduced to Harrison to almost all of his closest chums. I mean, Shane's birthday party was really the tightest of the tightest chums that were there. And Jeff introduced him to, and then the guy, I made a reel of it. So go check that out. I put it up on all my social media at Jeff Lewis Obsessed because I was dying. But Jeff reads us his exact text. Good morning. I just don't feel like we're headed in the same direction. I feel like we're not on the same page, whatever. 2 hours later, Harrison texted him back and said something like, well, it's a shame. That's a shame. I hope you find what you're looking for, or something like that. 1,000%, you sleuth had already DM'd him, had already sent a message to him or his friends that listen, if he doesn't listen live already. If I were dating someone famous and had a radio show and I knew they've been talking about dates and my dates, I'd for darn sure be tuning in. Even if I'm a chef, maybe he's not working at 9 to 10 in the morning, California time, he was listening live. I sort of love that he waited 2 hours to respond to it. I wonder if Jeff has the thing where it says read or delivered. I wonder if he has that turned on. Or if Harrison has that turned on where Jeff could have read it, like where Jeff could know, Harrison read it, and then he waited 2 hours to respond. Can you imagine? Can you imagine reading a text from Jeff Lewis and then being like, I'm just going to wait a little bit before I respond? I would just die. By the way, he did mention what emoji he uses. If you have never gotten a DM back from Jeff, I've said this before. One of the ones he always uses is, I call it kissy face. It's like this, the kiss is like this. And like, it's a little kiss. He uses that emoji all the time. And so he said he wanted to use that with him. And then Shane was like, no. So then he sent a red heart, which I don't know, kind of mixed signals, right? Like, I don't think you need an emoji to kind of end it. But I also don't know the dating world. Like, at what point do you need more than just a text? Like a text, it's not even a breakup. What's it called? Ending things? Like, we're not moving forward from here. I don't know. I don't think he said, Sunny Meadows said, is the $10,000 dinner in Chicago. He just said May and March. I don't think he said anything about them for sure. Oh, somebody's asking about Andrew Coleman. I love y'all's comments, by the way. Sandra on YouTube says, do you happen to know if Andrew Coleman is all better now? I don't know. And I've texted him a couple of times and haven't heard back from him. So that makes me worry, to be honest with you, because he's not the biggest person on his phone or social media. Yeah, but it does make me worry. So anyways, I do hope Andrew Coleman is doing well. Okay, of course, Jeff and Doug bring up the lounge within the lounge within the lounge. I like Taylor Armstrong. So tell me in comments, whose side are you on? if you can afford all of these lounge within the lounge within the lounge, which I don't even have access to, but if you did, like Taylor Armstrong, I'm assuming can afford, are you one that makes like 40 minutes to an hour or 2 hours like Doug to get to them and have the food and have the drinks? Or do you just get straight to the gate on time? Lady Grace Laura says, I never have time for a lounge. I don't even know how I got into this lounge. I was definitely, how did we get in? I was definitely with Brian within the last year and a half or so. I can't think of where it was. We've been to Las Vegas. We've been to several trips. I can't even think of where it was. It was only me and him, though. It wasn't all of the family, though. But we definitely were inside of a lounge, and I can't think of why or how I got into that. It must have been, he must use our United card, and he must have had access to that. I don't really pay attention to our United. I obviously love Southwest. Yeah, Tibu says I can barely afford my flight, much less all the other stuff. I'm with you. Yeah, I think we're in the mileage club maybe, but we don't even travel that much as we do. You know, we got teenagers. We don't fly as much as we do anymore. Um, but I do love that Taylor, is she married? Is her and this guy, I think his name is John, are they married or are they just together for 10 years? Whatever it is, Jeff was saying she needs a really good present. So I was kind of surprised. I don't know that Doug would have the balls or if he would ever even tell. Thank you for the rose. Peace and love on TikTok. I don't even know if Doug would ever say this, but I wonder if he wanted to chat about the Shannon and Vicky and Tamara and all that drama. What's weirder to me is Jeff was clearly talking about it and giving his thoughts. We're definitely going to talk about that and who he wants to go on tour with Shannon and Vicky. If you haven't already heard him say this, it's kind of controversial because a lot of y'all will definitely have your opinions about it for sure. But I wonder if Doug even wanted to discuss all the drama that's going on because, you know, he is the host of it. So I don't know what went down. It's all taken place on social media. They got into the details today. Jeff says he knew about it, but he's not able to speak about it because he doesn't know if he has permission to or not. He says it didn't exactly go down the way it did. I'm thinking it's this way. Shannon did go to Vicky's house and stay with her whenever she realized the paparazzi were just taking over and camped out in front of her condo after the DUI. Apparently, Vicky and her boyfriend Mike got into an argument, and Shannon was recording that and then sent it to Tamara. So I think Tamara was making that public, basically bringing up the disloyal. Is it called disloyal when you're not loyal to somebody? Whatever it's called. Because Kelly was getting herself involved, saying that uh, Shannon and Vicky need to sue Tamara because they had an LLC. They had booked all these tours, and they had agreed to Tres Amigas, and then Tamara backed out. Tamara saying she didn't back out because all of this stuff went forward, and the LLC was created while she was filming. I think it was The Traitors in Scotland or somewhere. So I don't even think she could be reached. I'm not even sure they can have their phones unless it's like an emergency. I don't really remember. I watched a couple of episodes of Traitors because Brandy Glanville was on it. She's my girl. And I don't remember if they can even have their phones or if they just don't show that part of it. We know on like Ultimate Girls trips, you know, Real Housewives trips, they have their phones because they show them calling their kids. They show them FaceTiming their husbands. So, you know, we know they can have their phones for that. But, you know, Doug just keeping it real. Just Doug kept it lighthearted. He's like, oh, I don't know. I'm just seeing on the internet. I think Doug knows a lot of stuff, a lot of dead bodies or where the bodies are buried, as they claim. And I think he is always loyal and never going to give it up. So I think he knows a lot of gossip and he just never gives it up. Jeff definitely asked Taylor about it, though. She kind of said her thoughts, but not exactly. I think she's friendly with most of them, too. But Jeff, the third person that he thinks should go on tour, and if she is available, I mean, I guess Rick could travel with her. They could do their smash at night. Clearly, they know how to travel and do their recordings, and he knows how to post it on YouTube. I think she would absolutely do it. I'm kind of wondering why she wasn't asked, though. Or is it because Shannon and Vicky don't want to split it 3 ways? They'd rather split it 2 ways. These shows can't be a huge money maker. I mean, I've been to quite a few of them. They're often not completely sold out. They're not like, 1,000-person venues, but they also have to pay for things, the traveling, the hair and makeup, the outfits, all of that adds up. So I don't exactly think it's not like they're making $50,000 on this stuff. Maybe through all of the touring that they've got quite a bit of my audio is slowing. I have no idea why. I haven't touched my phone. Here's my hands. And y'all are on Instagram, so it's using my phone. Anyways, by the way, some changes are coming up because I've got to make some technical changes. And part of that is probably going to be in a few weeks, maybe a week. I'm not sure. Maybe starting Monday. I'm not going to go live on TikTok anymore. It's just too much to go live on 3 different cameras and look at everything. My goal is that I start going live on my computer only, which will be YouTube for sure. And then it will definitely go up as a podcast afterwards. Spotify offers the video podcast also if you don't like the video option, if you don't like audio only. But I'm probably going to narrow some things down because I really need to get to 1 camera. 3 cameras is just too much. So it's all a work in progress though. If anyone knows what the hell they're doing, or if anyone has a contact from, a major podcast company that wants to take me alongside them, call me. Sarah at JeffLewisObsessed.com. Email me for sure. Sunny Meadow. I think Doug and Taylor know more than what they were publicly saying. Yeah, I feel like so too. But I also think that with Salt Lake City, I feel like those housewives absolutely had to know what the hell was going on, right? I mean, there's no way Jen Shaw had that cease and desist in like 2021 and everyone else hadn't heard those rumors. I'm still going to figure out if I'm going to go Instagram live anymore or not. I don't know. No one else does Instagram live. So I'm talking to other creators and they're like guiding me and stuff, but I'll have to figure it out. It's a lot to go live on 6 platforms. It's a lot. And it just spreads the audience out. So, you know what I mean? You got to have people like looking at 1 or 2 different options. So I'll try to stay live. I'll figure it out. I'll let you know. Anyways, always follow me on Instagram. That's where I'll let everyone know my different stuff for sure. What else? Oh, when Jeff said that Shannon shouldn't go back on Real Housewives of OC, he's like, I don't know her financial situation, but he doesn't feel like she hopefully doesn't need it as a job. I feel like not having a definite sidekick to help support her, I can't imagine it would be worth it for her to go back on OC. Like, I just don't even know why she would consider it. I can't figure out, maybe Real for Real, the tinctures and the outfits she sells and stuff, maybe it's not doing well, but she's got to be making money off the money that's in the bank, right? So I don't know. Obviously, I don't think it's ever been released publicly what her agreement was with David, but it feels like they were together before his business took off. She maybe needed some assistance from Sutton on that divorce settlement. But I think if you're with someone as they're making the money, you as the spouse and the mother of 3 children, the full-time mom of them, she should absolutely have gotten a shit ton of money. And then they keep saying, oh, she's got 3 kids in college. Okay, they were going to have to pay. If they chose to pay for their kids' college anyways, they were going to have to pay for that already. So if David was the main and only breadwinner besides OC, I guess at the time, why isn't he paying for that college now? And do we know that he's not? I mean, she keeps throwing the single mom thing around. I've got all these colleges to pay for, but I mean, we don't know that he's not paying for the colleges or that he didn't put money in as the settlement part of that to pay for the 3 kids' colleges. I mean, I'd be very disappointed if he's not helping or paying all of the colleges. Because I mean, I feel like if they were still married, she would have OC money which I don't feel like is a ton, but I feel like he would be paying 100% of the colleges. So, um, it's Tuesday. It's not trash day. It's not recycle day. It's not the pool guy day. The housekeepers that Luna loves and adores have already left for the day. I don't know what she's barking at. Maybe a delivery. Yes, Lisa on Crafty Dodger on Instagram. Shannon's father is rich. He takes care of his little girl. I mean, yeah, and he's still alive. So, and isn't she an only child? Why do I feel like she's an only child? Like, why do I feel like all that money is not going to be split up between anyone but her? Um, Pasadena baby. Will Leslie be Gucci down and they have a nice new house in Montana? I do not know what be Gucci down. He better be paying. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Sunny Meadow. Yeah, you said that's so weird to record an argument. I mean, maybe it's not weird because we keep seeing Monica and Monica's mom coming out with stuff from that girl from Salt Lake City. I am so ready. They better give it to us. They better answer all the questions. I want my jaw open wide at this reunion tonight. I mean, it better be good. It better be good. So good. I cannot wait. Okay, what do you think of Doug's roommate moving out? I guess he's buying his own house. Congrats to his roommate. But Doug wants to make his extra bedroom a chump Airbnb. I feel like he would love that. It's super close to SiriusXM. Doug would love it so much. He could get content from like conversations, or he could tell Jeff things like they're really messy in the bathroom, or they didn't make the bed, or they start, whatever. They left their socks underneath the bed, whatever. And then Jeff, this is a cup a friend of mine made for me a birthday or two ago. She looked up a Jeff Lewis quote. She's not even a Jeff Lewis fan. It says, most people's problem is that they don't listen to me. Jeff Lewis. Isn't that cute? Anyways, I kept having a cough, like a scratchy throat, and I'd be talking or I'd swallow my spit wrong. I'm like, crap, I need some water. Anyways, I think Jeff should pay Doug. Now, how you work this out business wise, I do not know because Doug isn't a business. I know it's easy for Jeff to pay for somebody, a guest hotel room, and that makes sense to me, but I don't know how you do that other ways. You know what I mean? So that would be kind of weird to me. But Doug has that great idea. I think it would be really good. Okay, I was 50 years old, almost 51, March 24th, when I learned what Club 33 was by watching the Jeff Lewis Live videos yesterday. So I think it's part of the after show, and somehow they start talking about it, I guess. Or did they say it live on the radio with Carney? Maybe they did. I think they talked about it more on the after show too. I've never even heard of this, but Jameson and Oscar are huge adult Disney fans. They've never been to this Club 33. I guess there's not even a website for it. It's super exclusive. You have to be invited. I don't even love Disney, and I would love to go to this Club 33. Like, if anybody, oh, Lady Grace said I would love it. Had you ever heard of it though? If you are watching this or on the replay, tell me in comments if you've ever heard of Club 33. If you've ever been to Club 33, shoot me a DM. I want to know all the details about it for sure. Never even heard of it though. Is it at Disneyland in California? And is it also at Disney World in Orlando? Is it all these other fancy ones around the world? Isn't there like a Paris Disney World? There's all these other different Disneys, right? Your mom works at Disney and has been. Fund the Sun today. It's a super long wait list, so you can't even go. So maybe you have the invitation or the money and you can't even go because there's a wait list. Oh my God. Yes. Annette says, I'm a huge Disney fan and I didn't know. I knew you were a Starbucks cup fan. I didn't know you were a Disney fan. Ashley on TikTok says, I've known about it for years, but have never been. You have so many Disney friend fanatics. Y'all need to join this Facebook group that Oscar's in. By the way, I did meet Oscar's childhood friend, Andy. She did have sunglasses on whenever I met her at the season 2 Hollywood House Lift party. She was very nice. But He's right. He didn't introduce me as his childhood friend. I do think like last Wednesday I had friends with supposed to be four of us, ended up being three of us. One had to bail because she was going to or no, she was going to New York. I thought she was going to Disney. She goes to Disney a lot. Uh, but we've known each other since junior high. So I think whenever I do talk to people that don't know them, I do say they were because I mean, I think childhood friend or someone that's known you your whole life. I've had a friend that we've known each other since we were 10 months old when my parents moved into the house across the street from them. Our birthdays are 2 days apart. We share a lot in common. She now lives in another country for the last, gosh, almost 25 years. But we stay in contact. We see each other when she comes to the States. But I do tell people because, I went to the same elementary, the middle school, the high school. I grew up in the same neighborhood. So if someone doesn't know her from my school, then I would tell them, oh, I've known this girl, Elizabeth, since I was 10 months old. I don't think I would call it my childhood friend. I usually say, oh, I've known them since seventh grade. Because to me, that just clarifies the relationship. It's also like if you were a newlywed, you'd be like, "Oh, this is my new husband," versus if you've been married 20 years. You know what I mean? Makes sense. Whoa! As of last year, the Disneyland Club 33 wait list is rumored to be about 5 to 10 years long. So people could die waiting to go to Club 33? That's crazy. Yeah, I think so. Christy on Instagram says it's a special knowledge of who you were when you were a kid. Because if somebody knows you since seventh grade, they know a lot about you. It's just like Heather McDonald and Jeff would say, oh, we went to college together. They weren't the best of friends from college up to age 53 or whatever they are now. They had a big gap, but when they realized they were both in the TV, podcast, radio, reality TV, California, LA world, they became closer friends and then, had a professional and personal relationship. But they weren't, when they say, oh, we've been friends for 30 years, they weren't friends all those 30 years. Does that make sense? Like there was a huge gap that they both talked about. Um, Anywho. Okay, the after show. I thought it was so good. I almost have more notes on the after show, probably because it started for me on time and it wasn't 13 minutes late or 11 minutes that I missed. Ryan Bailey from So Bad It's, oh God, that scared me. Daughter opened a door and it scared the crap out of me. So Bad It's Good with Ryan Bailey podcast. And then Monica Casey has a divorce party podcast every week with Tom Arnold. So listen to those. What else did they plug today? Obviously, the March 13th Shannon and Vicky show that Doug will be out in Houston. I've already got my tickets. Everyone else, I think, is getting their tickets. We're going to go to dinner beforehand. I've got the meet and greet. It's March 13th at the Houston Improv. So join the Jeff Lewis Obsessed Facebook group. As much as I don't love Facebook, it's just the easiest way to have an event and share all the information. And then there's chats that we can do off of that. So there's chats going on for the January 20th show that's coming up so soon. Oh my God. Some really big announcements are coming out very soon. I know it's taken longer than we expected, but good things are worth waiting on for sure. But the best thing is all the planning that we're doing. A lot of us are staying there Friday through Sunday at the SLS Hotel in Beverly Hills. So we're making a whole weekend of it. It is going to be so fun. A lot of you that are on live with us are going to be there. So if you are, let everyone know that you're going to be there. It is going to be so, so much fun. I cannot wait. And obviously there's a few tickets left, I think. Haven't had an update today on the link, on the event link on my Instagram and on my TikTok and on my YouTube. And I think in the Facebook group, it's everywhere. What else? Ryan only gets 4 hours of sleep and he drinks 2 to 3 liters of Diet Coke a day. Holy crap. How do you get any? It's like people that used to smoke, or maybe people still do, 2 to 3 packs of cigarettes a day. Isn't a pack of cigarettes 20 cigarettes? Like back in the day, the 70s, the 80s, I get it. You could smoke at work. I mean, teachers could. I don't think anyone could smoke when I was a kid. Did anyone have a teacher that could smoke in the classroom? I am almost positive we didn't. I think we had a smoker's lounge in a non-smokers teacher's lounge for sure, but I don't remember. But anyway, my point is, how do you have time to drink 2 to 3 liters a day? Wouldn't you be peeing all dang day? Like, I drink a lot of water, but I have to admit, just going live for 45 minutes a day and sitting in this chair with y'all, and then there's a little bit of post-production that I do afterwards, you can't be having to go to the bathroom a lot. So I stop my water and coffee drinking around 11 or 12 easily, because there's no way I can do this at 2 o'clock if I have to go to the bathroom. Anyways, crazy. Okay, we've already talked about it a lot. I did make a reel of it. Jeff absolutely reads the text that he wrote to Chef Harrison, and that he reads the response. Jeff says that he handled it well, that he did it right. I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm talking out of place because I'm not in the dating world for like 24 years now. But I feel like if I slept over at someone's house, if I had had 4 dates with them, which, Jeff can couple up after 2 dates. I feel like he and Chef Stu were together after 1 date. But then he met his friends Friday night. So I think to realize on Monday, from Saturday morning, I'm assuming he stayed till, I don't know, the morning. I don't know. But then on Monday, he gets a text at like 10 in the morning saying, yeah, this isn't going to go anywhere. So I don't know. What do you think? Y'all that are in the single world, let me know, especially if you're in the gay man world, like in your 50s, like how, yeah. Does anyone even call each other anymore? That's the problem. I can call my friends and they will not answer. And then I'll text them and then they'll answer. Or they'll text back and go, hey, I'm at the doctor, or hey, I'm on a conference call, or hey, I'm driving, which is why they didn't want to talk. They would just rather text. So I get that, but I also feel like people just don't talk on the phone anymore. They've gotten so used to texting that they don't want to have to waste their time. I am a talker on the phone. I feel like there's no confusion. My friend Jill and I are the worst texters ever. She'll answer a question 2 questions ago. So when she says yes, sounds good, I think she's answering the question before that. So then I'm like, okay, we're going to lunch Tuesday at 11. And she'll be like, oh no, I was answering the question before that. Like, do you want to go on a girls' trip? I'm like, if we were just on the phone, we could have a conversation back and forth. No one would misunderstand each other. That's kind of why I don't love Facebook. I see so many people reading a comment, reading a post wrong, and I don't know which way to take it. Are they being bitchy? Are they not? You know, are they being sarcastic? Like, you don't know how to take just words. I feel like when you talk to someone, that's probably why I do a lot of voice texting back to y'all. Also, I can just walk around my house and say something versus sitting there typing. But I feel like people don't like to talk. So, Jeff, I wonder how long. We know, because we get to see Hollywood House Flip. We saw that he and Chef Stu talked on the phone. We see that Jeff calls his dad on the phone and says, I love you, which I love. But we don't know if Jeff was at the stage of talking to him on the phone. I mean, he is 53, so he's closer to my age. I'm assuming he would rather talk on the phone than text, but as busy as Jeff is, maybe he's more of a texter. I don't know. Who knows? Okay, what else did y'all hear? If you didn't, we're going to wrap it up very soon. But Shane goes into a lot of details about the ex that he had in New York City. It was his first boyfriend ever of 5.5 years. The guy was cheating and the guy was lying about it. So basically, Jeff asked, this kind of came up about the psychic call yesterday, because I'm talking about the tarot reading and how I asked Natalie at Fem Tarot questions about Jeff Lewis. And that caller, Gigi, called in about it. But Jeff was saying, yeah, I have asked my caller, Psychic Sherry, Scary Sherry, about Shane years ago. And I told him to check the DMs or check his phone, because Sherry thought he was cheating, and it turns out that he was. So he goes into all those details. It's kind of crazy. He also tells us that he's going back to court the end of February if they don't change it. And he's hoping to get this 1 week on, 1 week off schedule with Monroe, but we don't know that it's going to happen, because, it could be pushed too. It could also not happen for sure. Did we already talk about that Jeff wants Kelly Dodd to go on tour with Shannon and Vicky? I think we did. That would be crazy. I, I don't know. Tamara brought this up, very shady, yesterday in an Instagram post that I saw. I think on Bravo and Cocktails. They are my news source. I follow Bravo and Cocktails for my shopping on Amazon and my news source. I love them. But Kelly or Tamara made a thing and said, "Oh, if speaking of loyalty, if they like Kelly so much, why haven't they invited Kelly to come on tour with them as a third person?" Which is kind of true, right? Um, kind of true. I don't know, Lisa. I don't know her real name, Scary Sherry. They talked about this for so many weeks. If Scary Sherry was going to put out her email, a website, a phone number, somebody in one of the Jeff Lewis Obsessed Facebook groups, not one of the Jeff Lewis Facebook groups, not mine, a long time ago put the wrong phone number for a psychic, and it is not her. She doesn't tell people she's not the real Scary Sherry. She just kind of goes along with it because I know someone that's used her and thought they were using the real Scary Sherry, and it's not her. She just doesn't, she's lying by omission. She doesn't say she's not Scary Sherry, but when someone says, "Oh, yeah, I booked you because I know you do Jeff Lewis," she never denies that it's not her, though. It's kind of crazy if you ask me. But anyways, but I don't know. It's definitely a psychic, but I've never been given Scary Sherry's real information. But I've never asked for it because I don't really do that kind of stuff. So oh yeah, she would have to raise her prices. She would get so many phone calls for sure. She either doesn't need the money or she doesn't want to have that many people because she would get hundreds instantly, if not thousands, calling her for sure. Melanie says Kelly is way too polarizing. I don't see them adding her. I feel like Tamara's polarizing too, though. Is Kelly more polarizing? Kelly definitely has fans, her smashers. You know, she has a huge following on YouTube and Patreon. So I don't know. Anyways, well, we already went 2 minutes past. Thank you so much for joining live. Make sure you're following me everywhere at Jeff Lewis Obsessed. Make sure you're liking, commenting, all the things. I would really, really, really appreciate it. Have an amazing day. Tomorrow is the ladies are on Jeff Lewis Live. It's Kristen Takeman. It is Paige Davis together. I cannot wait. They are such girls, and I love them. I can't wait to have them on for sure. And stay tuned. I will be announcing my launch of my new podcast. It will be more like a traditional podcast where I will have a guest. So it won't be live because I can't be, most guests don't want to be me like, squirrel with all the different comments and stuff, if that makes sense. So that'll be a better platform though, because when I go live with y'all, I'm here to chat with y'all about reality TV and Jeff Lewis, right? So I will keep doing this, but I'm definitely going to have a regular, normal podcast weekly, and that will probably launch at the end of January. A lot of big things happening. So anyways, okay, bye y'all.